Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? It's the weekend, and I can't go fishing because it's supposed to be raining all weekend. Well, the weather's supposed to be horrible all weekend. So I'm sitting here painting me some jigs. Y'all like that? Look at that disco. That's how disco go. That's how disco color's supposed to look. Supposed to have that shine to it. I'll show y'all my secret. Let's see who up in this thing. Bud Crisco, my man, what's going on? JJ, what's going on, brother? Joseph Clues, what's happening? What's happening? Mickey Wilson, what it do? What it do? James Edwards, what's good, my brother? Elton Hitchens, what's going on, bro? JJ said Sunday won't be bad. It looks like it's supposed to be bad. From what I've seen, what I've seen the other day. I definitely need to get out there though. I have yet to get on Conroe. I need to get out there. I ain't been on Conroe in probably about a month. I need to get out there. Try to figure some stuff out. Unless you just gonna tell me the spots I need to go to, JJ. Now, JJ, if you tell me the spots I need to go to on Conroe, then I ain't gonna have to go do no pre-fish. Squiddo, what's going on? So you gonna hook me up or what? You gonna hook me up or what? I'm gonna talk some Noah today too, y'all. Just letting y'all know. Just to let y'all know, I'm gonna talk some Noah today. I got some smoke today. I got some smoke today. He said the damn. JJ, why you gonna have me at the damn, man? Knowing I don't know nothing about Conroe, but I know I ain't going south to the dam on Conroe. I probably won't catch a crappie down there. So why you gonna do? Why you trying to set me up for the okie doke, JJ? Change addresses. What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, it's been a minute. Definitely been a minute. James Evans said we have a winter mix coming in Missouri. Oh man, look, I'm not a cold weather guy. I love to fish in the cold, but I don't like the cold. But it's just some reason I love to fish in the cold though. Sid Lewis, what's going on, bro? Crappie Red, man, what it do? What it do? He said, where you been? Man, I've been out here trying to get on these crappie, man. I've been out here trying to get on these crappie. BHF, what's going on? What's going on? Man, did y'all see my little short video I had the last weekend? I done found me a new home lake. It's my home lake now. I named it my home lake. I had a couple of my buddies went out there with me. We actually did 2 days out there. We were really like a day and a half. We did a day and a half out there. We caught a lot of crappie. A whole lot. I don't know if y'all checked out my Instagram or Facebook. I actually had a little short video I put on YouTube too. But I didn't know it was going to be that blurry because I didn't have no phone service out there. I had like 1 or 2 bars. So the phone service was real crappy out there. So JD said, I'm playing defense. Ask Frank, LOL. Man, you sending folks up the creek without a paddle, man. Don't do that, JJ. Devon225 says the tournament still going on. Yes, it is. That's why I ain't dropped no videos, y'all. I haven't dropped any videos or been on live. Cause most of the days on the weekend, those on the days I'm off, I'm on the lake trying to figure some stuff out for these tournaments. Yeah, we've only fished we only fished 3. We fished Palestine in November, Lake Palestine in November. And then we went to Toledo Bend in December, and we just left Sam Rayburn for the January tournament. The February tournament is February 11th at Lake Conroe. which I know I don't think I'm gonna do pretty. I don't think I'm gonna do well there. Uh, I hate Conroe. Me and Conroe ain't never been friendly. Like Conroe ain't never been friendly to me. So, but we'll figure it out. Texas Crappie saying it's a guy's paradise. Most definitely. Most definitely, man. Look, if y'all want to go on some guy trips, I got a lake for y'all. But you got to pay like your way. But I got a lake for you where you will not be disappointed. You're going to have an epic day. Probably the most crappie you ever caught in your life. Change address that said fish tastes the best coming from the cold water. I agree 100%. Mr. B, what's going on? My man, Slab Doc. What it do, Lamar? Devon 2 Device said SK said he gonna wait for the marinas to open up. He will start his Lake Houston turn. Man, hold on. See now, you see, Devon 225. I'm gonna tell you what you be doing. You know I be having when I tell you I got some smoke. I got some smoke, and here you go want to start it. Those are not tournaments. Those are get-togethers. Those are get-togethers where he know he can win. That's what those are. Those are not tournaments. That is him fishing in his backyard that he helped dig back in 1901. That he helped dig, so he would have an advantage. SK would never fish real tournaments. That's just the facts. He'll never fish real tournaments. Ever. Ever. And tell him I said it. He can come on live. I'm going to say the same thing again. That's facts. He talk all that trash and he have all tournament winners on his live, but he's never fished a real tournament before. So my thing is, what can you tell me if you ain't never fished a real tournament? Nothing. Those are the facts. See, the one thing about me, I'm not going to just speak my opinion. I'm going to speak my opinion if you ask me. And some things might be my opinion. But I'm also put out facts out there too, y'all. Those facts. And the funny thing about it, Slapped out said he bashed our trail 3 months ago. Now inviting the winners to his live. That is a fact also. He definitely bashed Crappie Masters East Texas Crappie Trail. Talked bad about it. Now all of a sudden, he got the winners on his live. Very contradictory if you ask me. If you ask me, that's very contradictory. He's a joke, if you ask me. Talk a lot of noise, got a big bark with a baby bite. You know, he quick to say, if once you win locally, then you're supposed to go to these big tournaments. We done had 3,000 get-togethers on Lake Houston, and SK done won 2,999 out of the 3,000 and have yet to fish a real tournament. Challenging. Matter of fact, his second favorite, I ain't gonna say second favorite, his second only lake, we have a tournament February 11th. Why didn't he join that? I'll be at the weigh-in. No, come on in and join in on the fun. Because I'm gonna tell you what he's gonna say. Whoever has the biggest weight, he's one of those guys that's gonna run and say, oh, I catch that all the time out there. I could have won the tournament. Guarantee y'all remember I said this. Remember I said these words. After the Lake Conroe tournament, SK is going to say, I could have won that tournament. I catch weights bigger than that all the time. Anybody want to bet me some money? I got my cash app ready. Devon 225 say, SK say you have to win local tournaments, then you can fish the big tournaments. So why haven't he fished the big tournament? I mean, he ain't really won a local tournament. He won some local get-togethers. But have yet to fish a real tournament. So that's just that's my opinion and my facts. So it is what it is. Chinese Evans said, have you and Fish and Ken fished together? No, we've never been on the same lake together before. We have not fished together. Chat Jock said, what up, Skinny man? I thought you quit on us. Nah, man. I've been fishing the tournaments, man. So I've really been out of town a lot. I've been out of town damn near every weekend. I'm out of town because none of the lakes are close to Houston except for the upcoming tournament on Lake Conroe. That is the only one that's close to me. All the rest of them is at least 3.5 hours. Sam Raven was 3.5 hours. Toledo, where we was about 4.5. Palestine was about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Um, we got Merval coming up. That's about a 4 hour drive for me. Then we got Lake of the Pines and Lake Fort. Both of those like 4.5, 5 hours for me. So pre-fishing those takes a lot out of me. Driving that far to fish in a tournament because you got to have love for it. You got the love for the to compete on lakes that you don't even know nothing about. But it's just the love and the camaraderie, man. We have a great list of guys on the East Texas Crappie Trail. I'm talking about a great list of guys, and you learn so much. Uh, Lamar can be a witness to it. I'm sure JJ also. They both fish the East Texas Crappie Trail. You learn so much more by joining real trails, real tournaments like these, and you just learn so much more that it opens your mind up to crappie fishing. Me and Lamar talk about it all the time. Like if we would have never started fishing this trail, we would have been so blind to a lot of things when it came to crappie fishing. Just all together, not just tournament, but crappie fishing all together. Uh, and I can just state facts on it. So just fishing around our area, we were so used to finding brush piles, sitting on a brush pile, and that's it. We joined the East Texas Crappie Trail and we tried that method and it didn't end well. We learned you gotta, get on it, learn how to fish roamers, learning what speed to be at. Fishing standing timber. Oh my God, that is a East Texas go-to. Is fishing standing timber, and that's stuff we didn't fish down here because we didn't have it. And so just fishing. JJ Texas Crappie Sales hit it dead on the money. It makes you a better angler. It just fishing this trail makes you a whole better angler. So when you go out there and recreational fish, you can catch so many more fish, or you can just target big fish if you want to. You understand a whole lot more. And these guys are not tight-lipped guys either. They're not tight-lipped guys saying, "Oh, I ain't gonna tell you what I did." They're cool. Everybody's cool out there. You ask questions, they'll give you answers. It just really makes you a better angler altogether. Crappie Red said you funny. Nah, but I'm being real. Y'all know, see Crappie Red. One thing about the folks on here, they know I'm gonna talk some smack, but I'm gonna be real with them, man. I'm always keep it real. Miguel Wilson said, "Prove it, prove it." That's all I'm saying. Stop talking all this smack and side talking. Prove it. Get your behind out on this East Texas Crappie Trail and prove that talk that you're doing. All of this don't mean nothing if you ain't got no action behind it. The 125 said, "Man, Cam got a new baits called Fireball Red and Fireball Blue, but they are actually his hologram flake jigs. But he still would sell a ton of them though. Hey, well, whatever he got to do to get it. Whatever he got to do to get it." Slab Dog said, "The knowledge you gain from each tournament, you'll never get staying on your home." Like, yeah, that's a fact. So much fellowship as well. That is so true. I don't know if y'all did catch the little short YouTube video I did on my Instagram or Facebook. I went live on Facebook for a couple of seconds, but I had a couple of buddies out of Alabama, and they wanted to come and get on some good Texas crappie. And I never fished this lake until the tournament. Pre-fished it for the tournament and the tournament, and I realized that's a crappie. I don't know. That's crappie heaven. If you know a little bit about catching crappie, it's a crappie heaven out there on Sam Rayburn. We not the Sam Rayburn, man, for a day and a half. Should have been 2 days, but on the way out there, I had a blowout on my trailer. Thank God for tandem axle trailers. If y'all have a boat, please do it. Go tandem axle. I had a blowout about 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on literally the darkest back road, no shoulder road you can find in Texas, in East Texas, in the country. Black, dark, no street lights. I had to drive about 10 miles, going 10 miles an hour, about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I got to a gas station. Put my spare on. By that time, it was about 7 o'clock. And it was cold that morning. Got down the road, went about 5 miles down the road, and my spare blew out. I was like, man, I am snake bit today. Just so happened probably about 3 or 4 miles from there was a tire shop, and they opened at 8. So I waited outside in the front, and the guys came out. They was getting ready to open the store. They were like, "What you need?" I said, "I need 2 tires right now. I need a spare, and I need my blowout fixed." So They hooked me up with two tires. I think I paid a little bit more than I should have paid, but they knew I was in dire need and I was in the middle of nowhere. So I mean, they were like, either you gonna get these tires or you gonna be having one. You got one axle rolling and one axle with a flat. So I went on and got those two tires. I'm gonna put a whole new set on probably Monday, Sunday, to probably Sunday or even Monday. Put a new set on so I'll be ready for the road. Romero said, "What up, Skinny? Good to see you, Ken Folk. Man, double salute, Romero. What it do, bro?" Devon 25 said, "SK say Lake Houston is the hardest lake to fish in the Houston area." That is a 150% lie. Uh, JJ will tell you, Lamar will tell you, any of these guys that fish Lake Houston tell you, Lake Houston is not the hardest lake in Houston. I can guarantee you that. It is not the hardest lake. Don't let nobody lie to y'all. You go out there right now, it's gonna be hard because it's a nasty, muddy, trashy lake. And when the water gets high, you're gonna see floating couches, floating refrigerators, floating all kind of crap out there. Like it gets so muddy and nasty, it's like a sewage when it floods because all the trash comes into it. But it's not a hard lake to fish. Don't let anybody lie to y'all. JJ said, "I help anyone if they ask." That's a fact, man. And that's the mindset of everybody out there. And that's why I love it. Because even, I haven't came close to winning this year. But I still go out there and joke, laugh. Man, it don't even matter. You're not mad because you didn't place top 3 or top 5. You're glad to be out there. You're glad you caught fish. And then you're listening and talking to the guy that did come in top 3, and they're not afraid to share you their tactics or areas of what they did to win. Crappie Ray said, "Why would someone bash a tournament trail? Why?" You have to ask SK about that. SK is a very contradictory person. He bashed live scope, and people know. But see, I like to call people out on their bullshit. So that's what I do. I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. SK bashed, and Lamar will tell you, SK bashed. You can go some look at his old video. He bashed live scope for about 2 or 3 years. He said live scope wasn't nothing but 2D. It ain't nothing but 2D. I don't know why y'all got live scope. Don't worry. I'm gonna just sit here and let that soak in for a minute. Because it's all facts. I told you I don't lie. I talk a lot of shit, but I speak facts. He bashed live scope so badly, but he got a live scope now. Then when he bought it, he said, "I only got live scope to fish tournaments." He's had it for maybe a year or 2 now. Have yet to fish a tournament. Romero said, "Me too. I will tell anyone what I use and how to use it. It's enough fishing for everybody." It's a fact, man. That's a fact. That is 100% fact. And that's why I love that trail, man. I think I'm a pretty decent crappie fisherman, but I learned when I started fishing that trail, I'm not a tournament crappie fisherman. Now I think I'm getting better at tournament crappie fishing because it's not like recreational fishing. But I know the longer I stay with this tournament, man, and meet these guys, I'm gonna learn so much more. And it's gonna make you like JJ said earlier, it's gonna make you a better angler altogether. And if you use what you're learning, even when you're recreational fishing, you're gonna catch more fish then. He says it's too expensive. He don't want to pay for gas for his vehicle and boat. Like I said, the next tournament is February 11th on one of his home lakes, Lake Conroe. He ain't got no excuse about no gas because he fished Lake Conroe anyway. He was out there today. Okay. He fished Lake Conroe all the time, so ain't no excuse about no gas and all of that. Come on, man. Just say you ain't built for it. Just be honest. The thing about it is just on a lot of these lakes, you can't fish this style of fishing that's sitting on top of a brush pile. You got to stay away. You got to catch roamers. You got to fish standing timber. You can't just sit 2 feet on top of a brush pile and fish. It don't work like that. Mr. B, they saw that video, man, y'all had buckets of crappie and they were slabs. And I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy. We didn't fish no brush piles out there. We fished all standing timber, and these guys have never fished standing timber ever before. But I think that comes from having a good person out there that's willing to show you how to change up what you usually do. I like I said, once I learned about standing timber, I was excited. I was calling everybody like, man, these crappie be on standing timber. This how you gotta do it. You gotta short your trolling motor down, pitch out there to them, whoop de whoop de whoop. And these guys never fish standing timber a day in their life. And you see what happened in a day and a half? We had a lot of crappie. We caught, and they was not no 10s and 11s. They were 12, 13, 14, 15s, and 16s. We caught a lot of big, nice, great crappie. We caught a whole lot of them, over 100. So, and these guys never fished standing. That was the first time they ever fished standing timber. So, what's that tell you? Reels in motion. He said, "What's up, Kenny? What it do, man? What it do, man?" Slab Doc said, "Lake Houston is definitely not a tough lake." That's facts. It's not. Devon 25 said, "Yes, he did bash live scope. I remember that." And it's facts. That's what I'm saying. I can't take nobody serious that's so contradictory. I can't take them serious. And then the thing about it, if you do it, stand on it. Yeah, stand on it. Yeah, man, I bashed it. I said it went number 2D, but you can't even stand on it. Wardell, what's going on, fam? Jet Jock said, "Let's see some of your latest jigs you tied." I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all. These are some I tied today. These not just the ones on the bottom. I tied some muddy watercolors up. I tied some brown jigs up today. So I'm gonna show y'all a couple of brown jigs I tied up today. Tied up some brown stuff just for that muddy water. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just tied that one up today. And I tied another one up for muddy water. Them 2 jigs I tied up for some muddy water. Tied both of those up for some muddy water today. And see, I don't mind giving y'all info. I'm going to show y'all. We use 1 jig. I use 1 jig in the tournament. I use 1 jig pre-fishing. And I used 1 jig last weekend with my homeboys from Alabama that came down and fished with me on Sam Rayburn. And that jig is awesome out there. And I'm going to show it to y'all. I call it Mardi Gras. That's the only jig I use out there. I don't know if you can see it because of the light, but it's purple. It has some purple and green and gold flash on the chenille. Then I have a chartreuse tail with some chartreuse flash on it with chartreuse head. They was, man, look. They couldn't believe that one jig. So what we did, we started experimenting with other jigs, hand ties, and plastics, even with minnows. They were like, "Man, it's a complete difference with that 1 jig." But yeah, that 1 jig right there, that's my Sam Rayburn jig until Sam Rayburn crappie tell me I don't want that jig no more. James L said, "Do you know what happened to a crappie sniper?" I don't know who that is. I don't know who crappie sniper is. Explain standing timber versus brush piles. I would love to. And like I said, I'm not an expert in it because I'm just starting to learn. I've been fishing standing timber for about a year. I've been fishing brush piles my whole life. So what I see in East Texas and Southeast Texas is completely different crappie fishing. We don't have a lot of lakes down here that have standing timber. East Texas, Lake Fork is known for standing timber. Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, like those lakes. Now Sam Rayburn have a hell of a lot of brush piles. Sam Rayburn do have I'm talking about huge brush piles that's loaded with crappie. But it has some great standing timber also. The thing about it is, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, if you own a lake that has brush piles and standing timber, you will catch a bigger crappie on standing timber or roaming. You always gonna catch a big crappie roaming on any lake. But if we're just talking about standing timber versus brush piles, I'm gonna take standing timber all day long over brush piles. That's just my choice. Because what I've seen so far is, first of all, you don't get hung up as much compared to brush piles. The crappie can't dig themselves down up in there. They on standing timber, and the thing about it with that standing timber, most of the time, when you're on a lake that has a lot of standing timber, you'll see, especially with live scope. Like, I mean, I'm speaking from a live scope aspect. You'll see those crappie perched up, just nosed up a little bit, or sometimes they just straight across with it. But most of the time you see them perched up, they be tilted just a little bit on that standing timber. And if you present that jig right for them, man, they smack the hell out of them jigs. I'm telling you, Those guys, me and my two homeboys that was out there on Sam Rayburn, man, they when we got on that standing timber, they were just shocked, like, man, these crappie are. They were like, man, these crappie are aggressive. And most crappie you see on standing timber, if you approach them correctly and don't spook them, they're gonna give you an aggressive bite. There's not a lot of crappie that I've seen so far on the few lakes that I've fished that was standing timber where they didn't want to bite on the standing timber. Now I've definitely had some crappie that I think were asleep that was on standing timber. They were sitting there still as a rock, and I'm presenting it on one side of the timber, and it's dragging across. I'm hitting them. I'm not hitting them. I'm putting it on top, dangling their face, and they're not budging. Make it look like they were actually a piece of their timber. So I don't know if they sleep or what. But what I do, I drop that jig on and hit them, and then pull it up right above them, and you'll see that. Yeah, I know that famous tail wag. You see them when they kind of shake and they come in, boom. But yeah, man, that's all I was seeing on Sam Rayburn, man. I love standing timber fishing. To me, it's fun. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy standing timber. But if you don't have a standing timber lake, then like we don't have a lot of lakes down here that just have standing timber, like East Texas. You got to get on these roamers and these brush piles. Now brush pile might hold 15, 20, 30 crappie. Standing timber, you might only get one per piece of timber, or you might, get two or three that's on it. But a standing timber is not gonna look like brush pile. Now, you have those rare occasions where you might see, 6 or 7 crappie on a piece of timber, because we've definitely seen that also. But most of the time, you get 1 to 2 crappie per piece of timber. And to me, they're easier to catch. Devon257, love my Cash King rods, man. I haven't checked out the rods, man. I got them Cash King reels. That's all I use, and I have Cash King braid. I'm gonna tell you another thing I've tried to. So I've tried to go with fluorocarbon. To me, that's just not my style of fishing. I guess I'm just so used to braid. I've been using braid for the last 6-7 years. I didn't like it. Last weekend, I did fluorocarbon leaders on my braid. And I ain't like that either. They were breaking it off. Like, they were literally breaking off. I'm like, man, what the heck going on? Went back to straight braid and been getting it ever since. Okay, Devon talking about Cash King reels. Yeah, man, I love them, man. That's the only way I go. Crappie Fix TV said, what's up, brother? Great advice. I sure appreciate it, Crappie Fix TV. I sure appreciate it. Texas Crappie says, you just never mind that muddy water, LOL. Man, I love, and that's another thing too. That I realized too. Fishing standing timber or fishing open water fish in muddy water is so you can make some mistakes in that and still catch crappie. You can get a little bit too close that you should be to them and still catch them because of that muddy water. That muddy water slows them down a bit, and I like it. I love it because actually the day of the tournament, that water did get muddy where I was fishing, and I think I probably caught about 60, 65, 70 crappie that day. But I had what I was talking earlier about is just getting out of that mindset. When you're tournament fishing, you're not recreational fishing, and that's something that I'm still learning now. Only drop on the images that you know are money fish, meaning tournament fish. Stop dropping on any fish like you're recreational fishing because you're wasting time. Like, oh, that's if you got your live scope dialed in and you got it looking, how you want it, and you can tell the size of those fish. Don't sit there and drop on a 1.5. I mean, I said 1.25 or 1 pound crappie when you know that's not going to help you, and you already got 7, 1.5 or bigger crappie already. Why are you dropping on a 1 pound crappie? And that's something that I'm still trying to break that of me right now, because I when I'm fishing, I get excited. And I just be like, oh, yep, that's one. That might be a 151, and I'm knowing it's like a 125 or something. So that's something I'm still breaking the habit of now, just not dropping on fish that I know can't help me in the tournament that I know is not a cold fish. Lamar said, crappie red standing timber is groups of single vertical trees, most standing out of the water. Brush looks like bushes underwater. Can't see them without electronics. That is a fact. Standing timber, that's all it is, just a lot of trees. Standing timber is trees. It's just trees in the water. Brush piles are, you can man make brush piles. It's just a big bush. Might be a top of a tree fell in the water. Somebody made, you can make brush pile and maybe they cut down a tree or cut down like Christmas trees. Christmas trees, putting it on a center block and dropping it down, that's a brush pile. Standing timber are just trees. Regular trees grew out, that's been there, that's before they made the lake and just grew out the ground and they're just trees. Just regular trees are standing timber. Tess Cropper says, I shouldn't tell you this, but I wake them up by the bounce of the jig off of them. That's facts. I do it too. I'm telling you, I do it too. They get spooked, but then they smash it. I agree 1,000,000,000,000%. And that's what I was just saying. It was funny because we was out there on Sam Raven this weekend, me and my homeboys. We ran up on a couple like that, and they was some nice images. I said, man, that's probably like a 175. Man, that's a big crappie sitting on that timber. And they pitched it all in front of them. Pitched it. I'm like, hold on, just calm down. They're like, man, that might be a piece of the tree. I think that's a piece of tree. I said, no, that's a crappie. He just stuck. He's still, he sleep, he's something. I said, what I need you to do is drop that jig, drop it on him, boom, and hurry up and pull it up right above him so he sees it when when you wake him up. And he dropped it on him and he kind of jumped, the fish kind of bagged up and he had that jig right above him. That fish came and boom, smacked it. I love to see them when they sleep like that when they sleep on their timber like that. Texas Crappie says, I hate fluoro. Yeah, man, I'm a straight braid guy. I done gave up on fluoro. I can't do it. Devon 25 said, will you fish the qualifying tournament for the Mr. Crappie Fish Classic in Alabama? I don't know. I got to see when it is. I mean, Alabama ain't right around the corner. I had to go through a couple states to get to Alabama. And I know I'm not just going to go out there blind. I would have to definitely pre-fish and all that other good stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know yet. I had to see what the qualifying. I think that's what the tournament's going to be at. So, I got to see what the qualifying lake's going to be at. Are you going to get the crop breaks? I definitely am. I have to get another power pole. When I bought that boat, there was one power pole on it. So I got to give me another power pole, and then I'm definitely going with the crappie breaks. The crappie breaks makes life so much easier. I was actually on the boat with Lamar. We fished Toledo together, and we fished Palestine together. But we fished his boat on Toledo, and he had the crappie breaks, and I'm just in love with the crappie breaks because you can really stay on your trolling mode a lot faster and cover a lot of more water. And then when you see that crappie you want to catch, you can hit that stump switch and bag the boat up without making any noise on that front trolling motor to spook the fish. The crappie breaks, if you're going to tournament fish, crappie breaks are almost a must. Not saying you have to have it, but it definitely make life easier. Mr. B said, what pound test do you use? I use Cast King Low Viz 10-pound braid. Cast King Low Viz 10-pound braid. Test Crappie says, discipline is huge, buddy. Yes, it is. And that's why I'm trying to discipline myself when I'm out on these tournaments is passing over the fish that's not going to help me. And that's something that I'm instead of beating myself over the head on. Leave these fish alone that can't help you in the tournament. Come back out here some other day, and come out here the next day, you can catch all them fish you want. But on tournament days, leave those fish alone that can't help you. Joseph Clue said, did all three of your fish from the same boat? Yeah, I got 3 seats set up on my Skeeter. So we all get on the same boat. I can hold up 3 people. I mean, I can hold up a lot of more people on the boat. But 3 people can fish on my boat comfortably. I got 3 seats set up front. Just like I had on my other boat. Just like I had on my aluminum boat. I had my 3 seats set up front. On my Skeeter, I got the same setup. 3 seats set up front. Just got a little bit more space. So 3 people can sit comfortably and we can get it in. Crappie said, standing timber, how long is your rod? So I have, what I used out there last weekend, I used a 13 and a 12. I had that 13-foot Jordan Sanders rod and my 12-foot, which is my favorite rod of all times, my 12-foot Todd Huckabee rod. But on tournaments, I use 16-foot Todd Huckabee K rod. I used a 16-foot Todd Huckabee K rod. I used the 12-foot. I'm gonna tell you my tournament rods. The tournament rods I use. I use my 16-foot Todd Huckabee K rod. I use my 12-foot Todd Huckabee rod. I use my 13-foot Jordan Sanders rod. Those 3 rods be on my boat when I tournament fish. Slab Doc Lamar said, the more fish you pass up, the better you do. Covering as much water as possible is key. That is the biggest key to tournament crappie fishing is covering water. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you if you cover more water than anybody else, you will have the better chance of winning. Not saying you will win, but you will have a damn good chance of winning when you covering more water. Stand on that trolling motor. Stand on that trolling motor and covering a lot more water. Devon225 said, "What's up with Thump City Rides?" I do not know. I'm gonna have to give him a call. I talked to him a few months ago, and I had to give him a call because I definitely would love to get a couple of those 14 footers. So that's my thing too. I'm just strictly the only 12 footer I'm going to use is that my Todd Huckabee rod. It's my best rod, my favorite rod of all times. I've boat flipped 5 pound bass with that rod, so that is my most reliable rod. That's the shortest rod I use right now. Period. You know, some people they got casting. Some people got casting down to a key. You know, they use casting rods, and I have several casting rods. But I don't do it. I rather pitch to them with my longer rods. Like I said, I got a 16 footer, a 13 footer, and I got a 14 foot. Also, I got a 14 foot. Lamar, help me. What's that 14 footer? I can't think of the name of it. That 14 foot. I got the rod right there. I just don't want. I'm too lazy to get up and look at the name. Can't think of the name. But yeah, I have a 16, a 14, a 13, and a 12. Ted Crabbe says, "I'm going to put a 12-foot outlaw in your hands to try out. You would love it." Hey, I would definitely try it out. That's one thing about me, y'all. I'm not ashamed to try out no rods. I know the type of rod I like. I know the feel I'm looking for. I like more of a stiff rod. Like the Huckabees, they're more a little more on the stiff side. And that's just what I like, you know. I don't want no Denali rod because it's too limber. I don't want no bow and arrow rod, no whippy rod. I don't want no whippy rod. That's just I hate a whippy rod. I don't want a whippy rod. I don't want to catch a pound and a half crappie and the tip of my rod is touching the base of my rod. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I like a stiffer rod, like a Huckabee. And that's just what I like. I do not like a whippy rod. Bubba G, what's going on? Salters, that's it. So I use a Huckabee 16, the K rod. I use the Salters 14 footer. I use a 13 foot Jordan Sanders, and I use a 12 foot Ty Huckabee rod. Those are the 4 rods that's in my lineup. Lamar said, "I need that Salters rod, Kenny. Bo flipped a hog today and broke 2 eyes on mine." Ooh. I'm gonna have to go. Look, we're gonna have to talk some business then. We're gonna talk some business. Tezza Cropper said, "My 12 foot is my go-to rod." Yeah, man, that 12 foot, I love it. The 16 footer, I don't mind it because I can stay off. That's an extra 4 feet. I can stay off the fish. But I don't feel comfortable, you know, if I have to hurry up and boat flip a 2-pound crappie with it, which I'm sure it's a top Huckabee rod. I'm sure I can. But I'm comfortable with that 12. I can pitch 30 feet with that 12, 20 feet with the 12. I love that 12-foot rod. 12 foot I love it. But like I said, I also love my Jordan Sanders 13 footer. I can do what I want to do with that. The Salters 14 footer. I can do what I want to do with that. Even the 16 foot, I can do what I want to do with that. But if they ask me what's my favorite rod, just because I've had it longer than those other rods, and I done put a beating on it and put it to the test, and boat flipped a 5-pound, 5.15 pound, I think it was 5.15 pound bass with it. So I know that thing legit. Chad Johnson, you should check out that Jinko Lucky 13. I actually have. It's very light. And I'm gonna tell you when I tried it out. When we was on Sam Raven this weekend, my homeboy from Alabama, he had a 13-foot Jinko Lucky 13, and it was super. I said, "Man, let me see that rod," and I grabbed. I'm like, "Man, this rod is light." And we both flipped every fish the whole day. He used his 13-foot Jinko. I had my 12-foot Huckabee, and my other homeboy, he was using the Jordan Sanders 13-foot, and we both flipped crappie from 10 inches to 16-inch crappie. I think our biggest fish was like a 237 or something. We both flipped everything. See, Lewis said mine is the 13-foot Kevin Rogers signatures Jinko. I have two 11-foot Jinkos, and if they were a couple feet longer, I would definitely use the Kevin Rogers 13. Like I said, I enjoy the my 11s. I enjoy my 11s. It's just I'm stuck on the 12 or longer rods now, But Kevin Rogers, the Jinko Kevin Rogers series rods are great rods also, and they will boat flip fish. That is a fact. Devon 225 said, I like my thump detector rod. Good backbone. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. Lamar tell you too. When my guy start making those 12, 13, 14 foot thump detective rods, I probably ain't gonna use no other rod. That 8.5 and that 9.5 I got, Lamar tell you about it. I loved it. I love that. I love those rods. It's just, being out of what we're doing right now, I need a 12 or longer. But I love my thunder. If y'all looking for a great vertical jigging rod and casting rod, that thump detective rod, you can't go wrong. I can promise you that. I love it. Slab Doc, there you go. He coming right after that. Slab Doc said that thump detective is a good rod. Just need him to make a 14 to 16 footers. That's facts. That's facts. My man, Hook City, what it do, man? What it do? Hook City said, do you pitch at fish with those 14s? Yeah, I pitch them with my 16. With my K rod. I pitch them with my 16. I do. I definitely do. Man, it was funny. Me and Lamar were just talking about East Texas, man. East Texas done turned us out. Turned us out like some little schoolgirls. Done turned us out, man. We can't leave East Texas now. We don't like fishing our lakes no more. Standing timber in East Texas done changed my life. I don't think I would never want to fish a lake that's not in East Texas and don't got standing timber because I'm in love with it. I am in love with standing timber in East Texas crop. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Being from Mississippi, growing up right on the Ross Barnett Reservoir, 10 miles from it, fished it my whole life since I was like 5. Catching, as we say in Mississippi, them white perch. Great crappie lake. Fishing those lakes in Mississippi are amazing. Now, when we're talking about quality, everybody knows that I-55 corridor, you ain't going to beat. Ross Barnett, Grenada, Sardis, Lake Washington, Arca Butler. You're going to catch your biggest crappie you probably ever caught in your life. But when it comes to fun fishing, catching good quality crappie, maybe not no 3-pounders, but catching a lot of 2-pound, 1.5 pound crappie, ain't no better place than East Texas. And this coming from a true Mississippi boy. There is no better place to catch a lot of 1 pound to 2 pound, 1.5 to 2 pound crappie. No place better than East Texas. And I'm going to stand on it. And I'm 100% to the heart Mississippi boy. But East Texas, to me, in my opinion, you can't beat the fishing on East Texas. Now, like I said, when you talk about quality and big fish, Mississippi, hands down, nobody ain't touching Mississippi. But when you're just talking about the quantity and quality, like I said, 1.5 to 2 pound, 2.5, oh man, East Texas, I love it. I love it. Love it. Slab Doc said, I absolutely pitch with my 14s and 16. Need to learn how to cast quicker on the scope. Facts. Big facts. Hook City said, that's why folks head to East Texas from everywhere in the state. Look, they got me sold. One thing about me, I don't mind driving 3 and 4 hours no more. I used to mind driving 3 and 4 hours to go fishing. I don't mind driving 3 because I know what I'm going to get. I don't mind driving 3 hours to Sam Rayburn. I don't mind driving 4 hours to Palestine. I don't mind driving 4 hours to Toledo Bend. I don't, because I know it's gonna be an epic day. I know I'm gonna have the time of my life. I love East Texas, y'all. I really do. Hook City said, what lake y'all been hitting? So far, we've hit Palestine, Toledo Bend, and Sam Rayburn. We got the tournament down here on Lake Conroe, February. But then March, we going to my favorite East Texas lake. We're going to Lake Merval in March. Then we're going to Lake Fork in April and Lake of the Pines in May. Those two lakes are definitely on my bucket list. So those, look, that's gonna end my East Texas trail right there. Hidden Lake Fork, have yet to fish it, and Lake of the Pines, which are the two, probably the two most famous lakes in crappie lakes in Texas. So I'm definitely looking forward to those in April and May, Lake of the Pines and Lake Fork. But so far, what I've seen out of East Texas, Lake Palestine, Sam Rayburn, and Toledo Bend, and Merval, oh man, I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm talking about in love. I'm talking about down deep in heart, in love. I was funny. We was laughing about it. I said, man, if I ever win the lottery, I'm gonna build me a house. I'm gonna find that perfect middle spot in between Lake Fork, Lake of the Pines, Merval, Palestine, Toledo, Sam Brave. I'm gonna find that midpoint between all those lakes. I'm gonna build me a house right there, so I can go to either any of them lakes within an hour, hour and a half. Those lakes are amazing, y'all. I'll tell you, it's amazing. The 125 said, don't tell SK that because Lake Houston got slabs too. Lake Houston ain't got nothing on these lakes. Not a thing. Not a thing. I'm telling you that. Not a thing. We don't have lakes like that down here. I would say that. We don't have the lakes we have down here. Just the three main lakes, Lake Conroe, Lake Somerville, and Lake Houston. They can't compare to East Texas lakes at all. No comparison. Slab Dr. Lamar said East Texas lakes are unbelievable. They are 100% unbelievable. Unbelievable. Romero Davis said, I agree. At Lake Fork, we was throwing 11 and 12-inch crappie back in. And you can do that. You can definitely do it. You can do it. Yes, sir, you can do it. Lamar said Lake Houston is a toilet compared to Raven, Fork, Pines, and Palestine. That is a fact. It is a toilet bowl compared to those lakes. Facts. Sia Lewis said Ross Bonnet is my home lake, and I camp and I fish Grenada Lake every 2 weeks for 2 weeks. But you can't fish Grenada until February. No water, no place to lunch. Yeah, man, I hate that draw that lake down. I was talking to a couple of people a few weeks ago. They were talking about. They said, "Man, what about your Mississippi Lake?" I said, "Man, Grenada is the home. The Grenada is the home of the biggest crappie. I'm from Ross Barnett. Like I said, I grew up 10 miles from it, fishing since I was about 5 or 6 years old. Caught my first ever crappie off Ross Barnett. Fished it for years, and it's a great crappie fisher. You can catch so many 180s, 190s out there that you'll have a field day. 2-pounders, you have a field day out there. But I do hate that they draw down Grenada, but at the same time, I know why they do it too. Well, I have an opinion. My opinion why they do it is that's why those fish are so big. So the main feeding period is the winter time. So these fish on Grenada right now are feeding and untouched. These crappie just going around the lake, hitting these shad balls, eating good, getting bigger, and you can't even touch them until probably the spring when the water get up high enough that you can lunch. Because you can't lunch nowhere right now unless you get a kayak or something and walk across there and lunch, or a little John boat and a 4-wheeler and pull it out there. But you can't lunch. So you telling me in the feeding frenzy time of the year, you can't go catch these 3-pounders? That's why that's why last year they were pulling out all them 4-pounders. I can't wait to see. I think March is when they have the crappie masters out there again. I can't wait to see the weights this year. Because they had about 6 or 7 4-pound crappie caught last year on Grenada for the crappie masters. I honestly think they probably gonna catch. It's probably gonna be about 10 to 12 4-pounders caught this year. I would say 10, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody pulled out a 5-pound crappie out of Grenada. It wouldn't surprise me. Definitely wouldn't surprise me. School, what's going on, bro? Texas Crappie said Pines and Fork are awesome. I've heard nothing but positive things about Pines and Fork. I have yet to fish them, but I will fish them in the next few months because that's both of the lakes are on the tournament trail. C. Lewis said caught 3 over 3 pound last year. PB 361. I can't imagine. I have yet to catch a 3-pound crappie. So that's the thing. Also, they definitely pulling out a few 3-pounders on Lake Fork. I see Jordan Sanders posted. He posted a few of them in the last month. They've been catching some 3-pounders out of Lake Fork, and I'm sure Lake of the Pines got them too. But Grenada, yes. You said your PB a 361. You almost a pound over my PB. My PB is a 273 that I caught about 4-5 years ago. And so I might one day have to go and pull that old skeeter down to Mississippi and hit Grenada, man, just to get me a 3-pounder. And it seems like Texas don't want to give me a 3-pounder, so I might have to go and go to Mississippi, go back home to catch me a 3-pounder. See, Lewis said March 10th. Okay, so Crappie Master will be March 10th on Grenada. I can't wait to watch the weigh-in because I'm telling you, I think it's going to be 10 to 12 people that's going to catch 4-pounders. Well, I would say I think it will be 10 to 12 4-pounders caught at that tournament. I think they caught like 6 last year. So I would probably say double that this year. I think this year they might catch 10 to 12. Schools at Lake of the Pines is beautiful. Get you a cabin and stay the weekend. That's what I do in East Texas. I don't do turn and burns in East Texas. We was on Sam Raven. We got a cabin for 2 days. Toledo, we had a cabin out there. Like I don't go out there and do a turn and burn. If I go out there, East Palestine got a cabin out there. If I go to East Texas, I'm staying overnight because I ain't gonna get my full feel out of it for one day. I need at least 2 days when I go to East Texas. Sid Lewis, I will be there from February 24th to March 10th. Where will you be, Sid Lewis? Camo Joe said, what's cracking? Been a minute. Yeah, man, it's been a minute, man. I had to come to clear the air. Clear the air of SK and his shenanigans. I'm sick of him lying to these people. So I had to go and put him on blast. Stop all that lying. But yeah, and another thing too, y'all. Don't let nobody deter y'all from turning your gain up or whatever you need to do on your live scope. Because honestly, with me, I like to turn my color gain down and my gain up. And sometimes it's opposite. Sometimes I turn my color gain up and I turn my gain down. But I don't turn both of them all the way down. To me, that don't give me a good picture. Maybe my eyes bad or whatever. But don't go on what other people are doing with their screen because you have to learn how to set your settings for your preference. People can give you some good beginner tips on your settings, but every lake is different. So you're gonna have to adjust those settings from whatever lake you're on, your lake conditions. Because I've seen a few people out there that were like, oh, I turn my gain all the way down. Y'all be turning y'all gain all the way up. And they live scope look like they got an Atari up there. It looks blurry. It looks horrible. Me personally, I turn my game up to about 70. My regular game up to about 70. And next time I'm on the lake, I'm going to show y'all my picture of what I see. And I mean, 65, 70. Sometimes I turn a little bit hotter than that. And I love it. Like, it's clear. It don't look blurry. Like I see a lot of, I ain't say a lot, but a few people that talk about turning your game down. I'm like, I don't see how they see that fish. To me, that look like they playing on a Game Boy. And I feel like I'm playing a PS5. So don't let people try to deter you. Learn your electronics for yourself. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with getting your beginner tips, but that fine tuning, you have to do that on your lake while you fishing on that lake. Take the time out, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it takes for you to fine tune your screen yourself to get the clarity that you want. Because it's all about you're gonna be the one fishing on that boat. So you fine tune that clarity to what you want it to be. Are you gonna be on Grenada? Oh man, you're gonna be on Grenada for 2 weeks? Damn near 3. What? That's 20. Oh, I forgot February was a short month. So yeah, you've been on it for 2 weeks, man. You finna have Sid Lewis. Now you know you're gonna have to send me some pictures. Send me the pictures so I can feel like I'm there. Because I know you're gonna catch. I want you to go and pull one of them 4-pounders out of there. Go and pull one of them 4-pounders out of there. School said ain't nothing changed. We see, man, I'm always keeping it real, man. That's one thing you'll never say about me. You'll never say, man, Skinny Kenny, he fake. Or he done flipped the script. No, I'm gonna be the same, man. That's just who I am. I always been. I can't help it. Maybe that's a gift and a curse. But that's just who I am. Camo Joe said, damn, I'm gonna have to watch this from the beginning. Man, check it out. Sid Lewis said, I've had good luck with color gain 82 and gain 62. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just all about your personal preference on that lake, and the conditions on that lake. One day it might be muddy. You might have to turn this up and turn that down. And one day it might be, a greener color, and you might have to turn that down and turn that up. So with me, on Sam Raven, I had my color game turned. I think like on 45 or 50 or something. I had my game turned up to like 70, and we were plucking standing timber fish. We'll go and pass by brush piles and look down and say, oh, it's about 15 crappie down there, but they all look small. So let's go and go to this standing timber where we see these big images at. I can shoot my live scope out, and I have the regular LVS 32. I can shoot my live scope out 40 feet and see clear as day. I can tell you what size crappie 40 feet away. So, and the way I fish, I don't sit on top of fish. I don't sit 5 feet, 3 feet right on top of fish. Most of the time I'm pitching the fish, 15 feet out. The closer I get to a fish is probably 10 feet. 10 feet is probably the closest I will get to a fish, but I'm pitching at 15 to 18, sometimes even 20. If it's a big image, I'm going to sit at 20 feet and pitch out, so. Slapback said, Slapback said, having better performance out of my 34. Ran thicker marine grade wire with a bigger lithium battery. Yeah, man, I mean, that 34 is, I've heard nobody talk negative. I heard a few people talking about the lag, but I know Lamar, he was dealing with that lag, but now he has no lag. He said he had he got a thicker wire, a bigger, a lower gauge wire, and he went with that bigger lithium battery, and that fixed the problem. And I'm telling y'all, that 34, if you get that 34 right and dialed in, that 34 is deadly. You can see a fish 100 feet out clear. Like I said, I got the 32, and I know I can get 40 to 50. I can get 40 to 50 in a clear picture. But with that LBS 34, you can get 100 feet easy. When I'm looking at 50 feet, he can see 100 feet. Facts. And they're facts. Texas Crappie says it's all about what works for you. Best, play around with. That's it. And I know y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. That's the hard thing to do, especially when you hit that lake. When you hit the lake, all you think about is, I'm ready to go fishing. I want to fish. I'm ready to fish. I'm ready to fish. I'm ready to fish. But please, y'all, I promise you, if you take a few minutes, 15 minutes, and play with your fine tuning your live scope. Just play with it for about 15 minutes. I know you're ready to go fish, and you be like, I do it when I get through fishing. One thing about it, once you're tired and you're done fishing, you ready to load that boat up and go home. So you definitely ain't gonna play with your electronics. So do it when you first get on the water. Go on, play with your color game. Play with your game. I used to hear people say it all the time. I treated my Garmin live scope like Humminbird. I always say Humminbird is plug and play. You plug and play, like you really ain't got, you go buy your Helix 10 or a Solix 12 or a Helix 15, and you using it for side imaging and mapping. You can just plug that bad boy in and you ready. But with that live scope, it's a little different. With the Garmin live scope, you gotta fine tune it. You gotta play with those. You gotta play with them buttons and them knobs and fine tune it to your personal preference. Still, so you got it. God willing, I would love to. Man, I know you're going. If you already got a 361 Seal Lewis, you're gonna put your 4-pounder out there. Just send me the picture so I can feel better. He said, Mississippi lakes are muddy, man. That's one thing. It was so funny, man. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, do I want to fish a muddy lake? I'm gonna tell you, hell no. Hell no. I'm not going to no muddy lake. Now, if you ask me about a muddy lake, I want to go there more than anything. Just for fishing the trail, man, and learning so much more. Muddy lakes are so much easier to fish, especially if they are standing timber. If you fishing a standing timber muddy lake, you can creep up on them fish. Like I said, I'm pitching on big fish 20 feet, 15 feet. Like I said, the closest I'm getting 10 feet. On them muddy lakes, man, you can damn near sit on top of them crappie. You can go 5 feet on timber, 5 feet away, and just bloop, 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 bloop. That muddy water makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. That's why you see a lot of people that tournament fish, they would rather fish muddy water because they're not as spooky. They're not as spooky. Camo Joe said, time on the water is king. That is a fact. That is a fact. If you ain't out there, you can't figure it out, and you definitely ain't gonna catch no fish if you ain't out there. So you got to put that time out there, man. But B said, when you're roaming, how far out is your live scope? 40 feet. I put it on 40. I put it on 40 and get to it. 40 is clear, very clear. 50 is clear for me, but 40 is very clear for me. So when I put it on 40, I'm out there rolling. I really don't. I keep my depth on about 20 feet. I don't like fishing deep water lakes. Like Lake Fork, I heard that is a pretty deep water when you're fishing 40 and 50 feet, 30 feet down. I really don't want to fish that deep. But I will if I'm on Lake Fork because I know Lake Fork got a lot to offer. But most time I'm keeping my depth on 20. I'm keeping my depth on 20 and I'm shooting 30 to 40 feet. If I'm roaming, if I'm just strictly roaming fish, it's definitely 40. Uh, but 30 to 40. 30 to 40. If I'm fishing standing timber, I'm probably putting it on 50. Just because I want to look all out because you're in a stump field. You're in a field full of standing timber. So I'm fanning that thing, trying to see, okay, what's over there, what's over there, what's over there. So I probably got it on 50. Texas Crop Assassin just hit the hold on. See, Lewis said, especially Grenada. Yes, Grenada is muddy, muddy, muddy. And if you don't know how to catch roamers if you don't know how to catch roaming fish, don't go to Grenada. Unless you're in the springtime, you wade fishing or something. You just find you some shallows with some trees and just have fun. But if you're tournament fishing on Grenada, you better know how to catch roamers, or you might well just go home. Texas Crop Assassin said that makes Houston easy. It's muddy. It's facts, man. You got there right now to Lake Houston. Lake Houston right now looks like a garbage disposal, trash can, sewage, toilet that ain't been flushed in 3 months. It looks horrible. You got couches floating, refrigerators floating down the lake, current going 60 miles an hour. You got trees floating, toilet tissue floating. You got dead dogs. You got sharks, dolphins, turtles, beavers, deers, everything floating down that lake right now. Muddy. But I guarantee you, you get in the area in one of these coves where you don't got that current, man, you probably see roamers everywhere. You can just pick them apart because of that muddy water. Mr. B said, I'm gonna try 40 out, man. I love mine at 40, but like I said, I fine-tuned mine. Because at first I wasn't going past 20. I kept mine at 20. 20 down, 20 out. I ain't going past 20. That's before I started fine-tuning. I fine-tuned it into where I liked it at, and like I said, I can go 40 or 50 now. C. Lewis said, that's my favorite 40. Yeah, 40 feet out, man, is as far as I want to see. Well, it's not as far as I want to see, but 40 is clear, very clear for me. KP, y'all. KP, that's my guy right there. He was one of the guys that went with me on Sam Raven. KP, tell them folks, that was your first time fishing standing timber. Tell them what you think about Keith Peters. Tell them what you think about standing timber. KP says, skinny man and brothers sitting here talking about them the last weekend. I appreciate you, brother. I'm telling you, man, I've been talking about it all week. I've been having people calling me, like trying to set up trips and all that, man. I'm like, look, we can do it. You're going to have to pay for it, but we can do it. We can do it. Now, I'm telling you, we can do it. That lake is a special lake. It holds a special place in my heart. And it was crazy. I can't wait till the tournament season is over so I can just go out there and fish whenever I want to. And I don't have to go and pre-fish these other lakes and try to figure it out. I can just go out there and have me some fun and fish that lake, man. That lake is amazing. School said, why is that bad? Come on, man. What bad? Oh, we talking about Lake Houston? Yeah, man, Lake Houston is trashy. I would say that. That's just me being honest. And Lamar tell you, Lake Houston's a trashy lake. Like I'm telling you, when it floods out there, like right now, so that water is super high right now. We're calling for rain tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So by next Friday, I'm sure that lake gonna be flooded. You're gonna be dead bodies and everything else floating up in that water. I'm telling you that it's real. It's a trashy lake. Texas Crop Assassin said, I run 40 out mostly, unless in shallow, then I run 20, 10 feet or less of water. You just hit the nail on the head. I'm glad you said it because I was just about to get to that point of shallow water. Now, when I'm in shallow water, I definitely run back to 20. I'm glad you said that, JJ. You literally took the words out of my mouth. If I'm in less than 10 feet of water, I'm definitely running 20. But yeah, in that 15 to 20 feet, I'm on 40. You hit the nail on the head, Texas Crop Assassin. Joseph Clue said, when you're going to any East Texas lake for fun, give the group a shout out. I would love to pull my boat and go. I definitely will. I'm gonna tell you what lake I'm gonna be on. I'm going to Sam Raven. I'm going back to Sam Raven. That's where I was last weekend. Um, the tournaments, the last tournament is in May. Then we have the state championship. I'm sure that's gonna be in June. And after that, I'm on one lake. Leave me alone because I'm fishing one lake for a while. Sam Rayburn. That is my new home lake. I love it. It is a crappie paradise. It's a crappie guides paradise. And I'm surprised that lake don't get more notice than it does. Really, you really only have that Greg Finn. Greg Finn, that's the lake he guides on 100%. And I understand why. He fish brush piles. I don't even fish brush piles out there. I fish standing timber. And the brush piles I've seen out there have been freaking loaded. When I tell you loaded, they got some brush piles that out there look like whole trees. And I'm talking about you see dots on it everywhere. But I just can't let go of that standing timber right now. KP said, I love fishing standing timber. It was my first time. I normally fish a lot of brush piles in the lakes near me in the Houston area. I told y'all that. I told y'all. We fish nothing but standing timber out there. And that was their first time fishing standing timber. And I'm new to standing timber. Like I said, I'm only about a year in of fishing standing timber. And I'm sold on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's easier fishing to me. And you catch better quality fish, in my opinion, on standing timber. Camel Joe said, when is the next tourney date? February 11th on Lake Conroe. I tried to get y'all boy. I wanted your boy to get out there. He talk all that knows about tournament fishing, and he has yet to fish a tournament. So this would have been his best time because he always say, I ain't got the money to fish these tournaments. These tournaments are expensive. Well, this was his best time because this is one lake he fished all the time anyway. And he refused to fish tournament fishing. I'm waiting till I start my own tournament. You only gonna have two lakes on Lake Houston, Lake Conroe. We finna have an East Texas Crappie Trail tournament on Lake Conroe, February 11th. Stowaway Marina, there you go. February 11th out of Stowaway Marina. That where the weigh-in would be at, Stowaway Marina. Devon to the five said, if y'all pay his way, he would fish the Crappie Conroe tournament. No, he didn't. I tried to do that last year. I was on live last year and I told him I would pay for it. I said, SK, I will pay for you to fish Lake Conroe in the tournament. Yeah, I was on live. Check my lives. Go back last year and check my lives. I told him that. He ain't about that life. He don't want to fish no real tournaments. He only want to fish when he know he can win. He won't come out to Conroe. He said, I'm coming out to the weigh-in, but he ain't coming to fish the tournament. Why would you waste your gas to come to the weigh-in? Waste your gas to fish the tournament. That's all I'm saying. What's the difference? You coming to the lake anyway, to the weigh-in. Why not fish the tournament? Show us some skills that you got. The world waiting to see it. The world's waiting to see SK in his first official tournament. I think we're going to wait a lifetime for that one. Slab Doc said, my guy client volunteered to pay SK entry fee and he still declined. Okay. He ain't about that life. He do all of this. He bark. He don't bite. Y'all can tell him I said it. Y'all know I ain't scared to tell nobody the truth. I was hoping he was going to come on tonight. That's why I started talking about him earlier. I was hoping somebody was going to call him and say, Skinny Kenny talking about you on live. Y'all know me. Come on now. I sound just like him, don't it? Those tournaments are too expensive. That's why I'm starting my own tournament. Okay. What do you get out of your tournament? $30? $25? That's it. Oh, okay. I'm just saying. What do you get out of it? KP, you know I got that smoke, man. Camo Joe said, man, damn, y'all funny. I'm just being honest. I ain't told no lie. The facts about SK is this. SK dogged out live scope. I never get live scope. It ain't nothing but 2D. Why y'all buying live scope? I don't need live scope to catch fish. It ain't nothing but 2D. Turn around and get live scope. I only bought live scope for tournament fishing. I just already why I bought it. The fish tournaments. Have you at the fish tournament? Next thing he said, oh, I'm gonna get these tournaments started. When I get them started, we're gonna have tournaments in the area. You only fishing 2 lakes. What else did he say? Well, you gotta start winning locally first, and then you can fish the big tournaments. Okay, you won about 37,000 get-togethers on Lake Houston. You have yet to fish a tournament. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Rodale said, man on fire. Look at Slab. Oh, that's another one. Slab Dr. Lamar, you just hit that one. I ain't got no sponsors for a tournament that costs $100. $50 for a membership. You pay that $50 one time a year. And all you got to pay is $110 per lake. Come on now, you act like you need sponsors for that. That's a problem. That's the problem. You ain't breaking the bank. You're not fishing a crappie masters national event. You're not fishing an ACT event. You're fishing the East Texas Crappie Master, East Texas Crappie Trail, where all it takes is a $50 membership, one-time fee for a year, and $110 each lake. That's it. That's it. So if you need sponsors, that hell, I need sponsors too. And they better not sponsor you because you ain't fishing no tournaments. They need to sponsor me. At least I'm willing to fish them. Camel Joe said, that's the new spot, new background. Yeah, man, this is my new little spot. New spot. I love it out here. My neighbors above me. I don't love them. Me and them, we done bumped head a few times. So, but they tried to make peace with me. They cooked me some dinner and gave me a soda the other day and said, man, we sorry for making all that noise above you. So they trying to make peace with me because I had to turn up, y'all. I ain't gonna go into details, but I had to turn up on them. They were testing my gangster, and I had to show them I had to show them I'm really about their life. And so it was crazy. That was, 2 days ago? Yesterday? Day before yesterday. They came and knocked on the door. I'm like, who the hell knocking on my door? I opened the door. They was like, they had a little plate with some aluminum foil. Like, hey, man. They had a little note wrote, hey, this is our number. We're sorry for making noise. This is our peace offering. And so we've been cool ever since. So we've been cool for 2 days. But, yeah. Devon 225 said, it would take LG to join, then he would join y'all tournament. No, he won't. SK ain't joining that tournament, period. SK will not join that tournament because he know his style of fishing, sitting 2 feet on top of a brush pile, ain't gonna cut it. With that blurry screen he got, ain't gonna cut it. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Who said that? Who just said that? Man, this man wants some smoke or something. I don't know, somebody. Who said that? Who said that man's screen was blurry? I don't know who said that man's screen was blurry. But he ain't joining no tournament because he can't sit on top of a brush pile, 2 feet on top of a brush pile, and oh yeah, and he can't fish with that remote. Tournament guys don't use remotes. Tournament guys use foot pedals. He's so big on bashing people because they have a pole on their boat. What tournament guys use a pole? What tournament guy use a pole? Name me one tournament guy that fish with a remote in his hand. One. Give me one. And they vertical jig. Now you got people that pull cranks and stuff like that. They use a remote. You know, they'll use a remote. Even spider rigging, they'll use a remote sometimes. But what vertical jig fishermen use a remote? The world wants to know. Can somebody please tell me? Microphone. Somebody tell me. Exactly. Nobody. KP said the best fisherman can fish anywhere. Facts. And that's facts. That's facts. They're not just going to fish 1 or 2 lakes. They're going to, I mean, look. And then you learn so much more. You learn so much more. I'm telling you, fishing Lake Houston all day and Lake Conroe every now and again, you cheating yourself. So when you go to the East Texas Lake, it's a completely different fishery. For 2 days. Camo Joe, I'm just speaking facts, bro. Just being honest. Slab Doc said, KP, SK don't agree. He feels it's more challenge to stay on one lake and fish. And that's just so foolish. I think that's the most foolish thing I ever heard him say. Why go to all these other lakes and fish? when it's harder to fish on one lake, dude, you know who want anybody with common sense? Y'all don't believe that bullshit. Don't do that. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Mr. B said my neighbor tested my gangster, man. I'm telling you, bro. I don't know what they had going on up there, bro, but they used to be boom, 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 stomping, and I couldn't take it no more, so I had to set the record straight. But we've been cool the last 2 days, so hopefully it stays that way. I don't want to get out of character, but sometimes you got to get out of character. Sometimes you got to go back to your roots to let people know, like, look, I'm a cool guy, but don't test my gangster. Especially when I try to be nice to you. And you told me that in first, you told me that, oh, this it ain't gonna stop. Oh, okay. Let me come knock on your door again. Let's see if it's gonna stop. So it's been cool ever since. So we'll just leave that there. Yeah, man, y'all look. Don't listen to SK contradictive lies. I tell y'all what, this is what y'all do. Next time SK on live, ask him, did he bash live scope? I just want to know what he gonna say. Because he definitely bashed. He said it went number 2D. I mean, honestly, the way his screen looked, it definitely looks like 2D now. It's pretty blurry. So I can understand him saying live scope is only 2D because it definitely looks like 2D on his screen. And he always talking about, y'all got y'all game too high. Shit, he need to turn his up to 100. He need to turn his up to 100 because that mug ain't it. If my screen look like that, I ain't using live scope. I'm just using down imaging. I don't even want live scope. If my live scope look like that, give me down imaging. Give me my mega down imaging, my Humminbird mega down imaging. I'm good with that because it ain't no different from what he's seeing on here. It looks horrible. Camo Joe said he bashed Garmin over Humminbird. Oh man, man, look, go back to his video. That's what I'm saying. You can't be so contradictory. Y'all have never heard I never heard people just bash live scope. Even when I didn't have it, I said, man, I love it. Because Lamar had it. He was the first person I knew had it. He had it when it first came out. I said, well, I love live scope. But I'm waiting to see what Humminbird comes out with. And I said that for a couple years until Humminbird came out with that Mega Live. The first thing I did was what? Go buy me a Garmin live scope. Like, nope, I waited for nothing. Oh yeah, he praises live scope now. He probably wouldn't even go fishing without live scope. I don't know why he praised it. It's so blurry. You can't see nothing. You can't separate nothing. Hell, they all look the same. I was watching one of his little short videos today. And he had he was showing the live scope. I'm like, what a fish at? Hell, it all look like a piece of tree to me. He was fishing a lay down. I said, hell, you're a better man than me. And I'm younger than you. I thought my eyes were better than yours. Because I ain't see a goddamn thing until he started pulling up on it. I seen your jig dropping, but I didn't see no fish. That thing blurry. I might need to get on his boat and get him some lessons on how to clear that screen up. Y'all already talk about, hey, nah, man, look, y'all. This boy here from Brandon, Mississippi. Brandon is probably about 20 miles from Jackson, where I grew up. This boy here from Brandon, Mississippi. Have y'all seen what he did? Y'all see what the ACT is doing? The ACT is doing like I'm actually, this is crazy. I'm watching YouTube now, Major League Fishing. I love watching it on, not on YouTube, but on Amazon Prime. I love the concept how they got, you just catch as many 1 pound or bigger bass and just throwing them back. So you know they have that same concept with ACT. They had their first tournament today, day one, on Darbone. Did y'all see Hayden Jeffries wait for day one? Because he's leading right now at day one. That man got 110 pounds. I think off of, 87 fish, 89 fish, 80 some fish. I think he got 87 or 89 fish and 110 pounds. He's 20 pounds above second place. Like second place is 20 pounds behind him. That man, to me, because I was like, man, Hayden Jeffries is the best big crappie fisherman around. That's what I was saying. I'm like, if you come to big crappie, I don't think nobody can challenge Hayden Jeffries. What he just showed me today is he's the best all around crappie fisherman, period. That man put 110 pounds in the boat today off of 87 or 89 fish. That's one of the tournaments I wouldn't mind paying the money to fish, because any fish over a pound counts. So as long as the fish over a pound, it's a legal fish, and you can catch as many as you want, and your weight just keep adding up. But you only can catch one at a time. So you telling me this man caught one fish at a time, Caught 80 something fish for 110 pounds. I'm just I throw my hands up. He is the GOAT. To be 22 years old, he's the GOAT of crappie fishing. KP said, Lamar, I got to get me another boat, my brother. Skinny got me sold on traveling to these other fisheries. The experience of you guys going to these different lakes in Texas got me. Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's I think that was one of my best investments is buying me another boat. With a little bit more speed. I go about 70 miles an hour now. But get another boat, man, and a tandem axle trailer that I can go on. You don't need a tandem axle trailer to go anywhere. Don't get it twisted. But I know by me having that flat, if I didn't have a tandem axle trailer, I would have been in the middle of the woods, 5 o'clock in the morning on a dark road with no shoulders, hoping that nobody fly through there and hit me. I mean, I was strapped up, but just sitting there and waiting for daylight. And having that tandem axle, I could still, I had to go slow, but I got to where I needed to go. But yeah, man, these East Texas lakes I love them. Brad Cole said, "Can anyone fish the tournaments? What can they win, and can I come down and get on a boat or a team?" Brad Cole. So the way it works is anybody can fish the tournament. All you have to do is have a Crappie Masters membership, which is $50. It's for the whole 2023 season, and then it's $110 if you don't want to get into the side pot. I think the side pot is like an extra $100 or something if you want to do the side pot. So the side pot is like 210, 220, and the regular tournament is like 110. So $110 each lake. Uh, you can't get on a boat with nobody. I don't think now. I think you have to start out with whoever you team with. I don't think you can add a teammate. I don't think. I don't know the exact rules on how they go. Um, but I know for sure anybody you can jump in it now. If you want to go fish the Conroe tournament, which is February 11th, all you got to do is pay $50. Go online to Crappie Masters. Go online to Crappie Masters page. Pay $50 so you can get your membership number. Remember your membership. Screenshot it. Remember your membership number. Contact Texas Crappie Assassin. I'm sure he'll hook you up. Or Frank Morgan. Look him up. He's the one that runs the East Texas Crappie Trail. He the one to put it together. Or you can holler at Texas Crappie Assassin. He can definitely give you the exact info of what you need, and you can come on and join the East Texas Crappie Trail. You can join it right now today, and you'll be fishing at Lake Conroe February 11th. The 125 said he say Hayden couldn't fish Lake Houston like he do the other lakes. Lake Houston ain't nothing hard to fish, man. Hayden Jeffers to get out to Lake Houston and catch 18 pounds. Hell, my thing is this. Hell, my big salmon fish is more than what SK's caught on Lake Houston. So what is he saying? You know what I'm saying? If I can catch a bigger salmon than you can, what do you think Hayden Jeffrey gonna do out there? Oh, okay. Best live scoper. Yes, best live scoper. There you go. I'm glad you said that. He is the best live scoper out there. Ain't nobody messing with that boy. That boy is some serious. Texas Crappie said Hayden is a bad dude. He is, man. I want to fish that trail as well. That's a great format. I love that format that you can catch as many crappie as you want. Along with that 1 pound. 1 pound or better, and it counts on the list. And you can just keep going, catching. You can catch 300 of them if you want to, as long as they're a pound or better. And they just keep adding your weight up, keep adding your weight up. And I think that format is awesome. And I think it was only like 22 teams in it on Lake Darbone. And so in the near future, that's probably something that I'll be joining, hopefully, joining that ACT, because I would love to go to where I know I can, fish brush piles and, fish stand. I can fish whatever I want to fish. As long as I'm catching fish that's over a pound, that adding to the weight, I think that's just a fun format to me, especially when it comes to crappie. That just sounds so fun. Squiddo said, going to Merville tomorrow. Man, look, I wish I could. I hate that the rain because I needed to go. I need to go to Lake Conroe. I need to go to Lake Conroe to try to figure out some stuff for the tournament February 11th. But I'm so stuck on Sam Rayburn. I want to go back out there, but I can't do it right now. I can't go to Sam Rayburn because I need to go and try to figure out something for the next upcoming tournament. Unless somebody want to pay for a guide trip. Now, somebody want to pay for a guide trip, we can go to Sam Rayburn and get it in. But until then, I can't do no fun by myself recreational fishing. on Sam Raven because I'm trying to figure out something with Conroe. Conroe got me snake bit. I ain't figured, but I don't fish Conroe. That's crazy. Conroe's about an hour and a half for me. I've been living here for 9 years now. I've been living in Texas for 9 years here in Houston, and in 9 years I probably fished Conroe probably 7 times in 9 years. So that show y'all how I feel about Conroe. It's just not a lake I've really put a lot of time on. So I need to try to go out there, man, and try to figure something out. The 125 said Captain Coleman ain't win a tournament since Live Scope been out. I think really changed the game. Yeah, man, they were the best spider riggers in the world. In the world of crappie fishing, Captain Coleman was the best spider riggers in the world. That is a fact. When Live Scope came out, it changed the game. It definitely changed it. And I love Live Scope. Camo Joe said that format is better for the fish. That's facts. You don't have to bring them in, keep them alive, do the weigh in. You can catch the fish, let the judge weigh it, and throw the fish back in the water. That's all you got to do. And I think that is a great format to keep a lot of these fish alive. Because, a lot of these tournaments, crappie tournaments, look, if you don't want your fish at the crappie tournament, just give them to me. Because I am gladly to take them. I have a lot of people that love fish that I know. So that what people like, man, I know you got a freezer full of fish. I open my freezer up right now. I got 2 bags of fish. That's it. So I look, people love crappie. They love eating crappie. Texas Crappie says, man, you done killed me. Texas Crappie said, Conroe weight gonna be 8 pounds. That's probably what I pulled out of there. I'm telling you, Conroe got me snake bit. Conroe, I'll be glad to catch 7 fish out of Conroe. And Conroe is not a bad fishery. It just, Conroe, like I said, I haven't fished it a lot, 7, 8 times in 9 years. And I don't fish because every time I go there, I went out there twice out of those 7 or 8 times. I went out there twice and caught a limit. And I just had a good day out there. But ever since then, it ain't been, it just ain't been a lake that draw me back to it. I was fishing a lot of Somerville. Because I put time on the water out there, and I put like 30 brush piles out on Somerville. So that's why I fished that a lot, because I put some of the brush piles out there. And then y'all know I was fishing Gibbons Creek. That was my favorite lake of all times. So somebody bought that. And then I also fished a lot on Lake Houston. But now I got to figure out Conroe. I just need to figure it out. I had Lamar laughing earlier when I talked to him. I said, after this tournament, I ain't going back to Conroe until it's time to go catch some big bluegill. Because I swear, y'all, Conroe got some of the biggest bluegill you ever seen in your life. I ain't lying. Conroe got some huge bluegill. When I tell you huge, I can't wait until the summertime because the tournament season will be ending. I'll be getting ready to go back to Sam Raven and have me some fun. And I'll be going to Conroe to catch me some big bluegill. That's what I'm thinking too. Texas Crappie says probably 13 to 14 pounds. He says, honestly, 13 to 14 pounds on Conroe is my guess. I definitely think so. Because Conroe got some big crappie on it. He got some big blacks and some big white crappie on it. So y'all don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Conroe don't have big crappie. It definitely have big crappie. And it's a good fishery. I just haven't put the time out there on it. And I know if I go there consistently for a year, I'll probably like, man, look, I love going to Conroe. But it's just not been a lake I've been consistently going to. So I haven't figured it out. But I'm sure Conroe you're gonna need about 13 to 14 pounds to place top 3 on Conroe on February 11th. But if y'all are in the Houston area, and you want to fish the tournament, those are the things you need to do. Or if you want to just come out to the weigh-in, lines out at 3 o'clock and the weigh-in will be at 4 if I'm not mistaken. So if y'all in the Houston area or y'all just want to come down and watch the weigh-in at 4 o'clock, we will be at Stowaway Marina. Stowaway Marina. Stow it away. Stowaway. Stowaway. Stowaway Marina on Conroe, Lake Conroe. That's what we'll be doing the weigh-in at 4 o'clock. Well, y'all, it's been fun. I gave some smoke. I thought SK won't get on here so I can really get on his head, but he didn't jump on the live. Nobody didn't call him. Maybe he's scared or something. But until next time, it's your boy, Skinny Kenny, the Bronze Star Bet, double salute.